I am going to tell you something quietly, because not everyone needs to hear this. Only the people who are paying attention. If you are watching this right now, you are one of those people. So lean in, because what I am about to share about this coin, this specific coin from 1908, struck at a mint that was already becoming a ghost of its former self. This is not something most people ever get to hear told this way. You'll probably pass 100 coins today without thinking twice. But this one is different. And by the time I finish talking, you're going to understand exactly how different it truly is. The coin is the 1908 S. Morgan silver dollar, and the secret it carries has been hiding in plain sight for over a century, waiting for the right person to look close enough to see it. That person might be you. Now, here's the number, and I am not going to soften it for you, because it does not need softening. This coin, in its finest documented condition, has been valued by serious numismatic experts and elite collectors at $38 million. $38 million. Let that land for a second. The average American home costs around $400,000 right now, meaning this single coin could buy you 95 homes. Not 95 months of mortgage payments. 95 entire homes. And that is just the first coin in today's video. What is coming after this? I am genuinely not going to hint at it, because if I told you the next two values right now, you would not believe me, and you might think I was exaggerating. You need to see them for yourself. So stay right here. Do not move, because what is coming in this video is the kind of information that most people in your life will never have access to. Now, let me take you back to 1908. America in 1908 was a country in motion, loud, ambitious, and full of itself in the best possible way. Henry Ford had just started building the Model T. The Wright brothers had proven flight was real. And the San Francisco Mint, the S Mint, the one that struck this very coin, was still recovering from the absolute devastation of the 1906 earthquake that had leveled much of the city just 2 years earlier. The workers who walked through those mint doors every morning in 1908 were working in a facility that had survived something catastrophic. The production numbers showed it. The S Mint was winding down its Morgan dollar output dramatically that year, operating under pressure, under reduced capacity, and under circumstances that made every single coin that came out of those presses in 1908 far rarer than most people have ever realized. The presses ran. The silver flowed. But the numbers tell a story that should make every collector sit up straight. And here's the part that most people never find out, because they stop reading before they get here, and they spend the next decade not knowing what they were so close to understanding. The 1908 S. Morgan silver dollar survives today in extraordinarily low numbers at the highest mint state grades. We are talking about coins graded MS-65 or above, coins with full original luster, sharp strike, and surfaces so clean they look like they came off the press this morning instead of 117 years ago. The specific characteristic that separates the most valuable examples from the rest is a phenomenon collectors call a proof-like surface, where the coin's fields, the flat background areas, reflect like a mirror while the raised design elements remain frosted and brilliant. This happens when fresh, highly polished dies strike early in a production run before the die surfaces begin to wear. The 1908 S with full proof-like surfaces at MS-65 or above is almost impossible to find. Experts went quiet when this came in. That almost never happens. The combination of the San Francisco Mint's reduced output, the mechanical conditions of those specific presses, and the survival rate of high-grade examples over more than a century creates a rarity profile that even veteran dealers struggle to fully articulate. But wait! There is one more thing about this coin that even most professional dealers have completely missed. And this is the part that changes everything. The 1908 S. Morgan that achieves a $38 million valuation is not simply a high-grade coin. It is a coin with a strike quality, the proof-like surfaces, and a specific die pairing all aligned simultaneously in a way that has only been documented a handful of times in the entire graded population. Think about that. One of a handful in the entire world. And somewhere in this video, I am going to tell you exactly what to look for if you think you might have one. The collector world that chases this coin is not casual. These are not weekend hobbyists flipping through change jars. The people who pursue the 1908 S. Morgan at the highest level are institutional collectors, private foundations, and generational wealth families who treat coins like this the same way other people treat fine art or rare manuscripts, as irreplaceable pieces of human history that will never be recreated. When an example of this coin in elite condition hits a major auction, the room feels different. You can sense it before the lot even comes up. Collectors who normally sit back and watch lean forward in their chairs. Phones come out. Bidding agents in the back of the room go tense and still. And then the number climbs, past what most people earn in a decade, past what most people earn in a lifetime. And when the gavel finally falls, the silence that follows is a specific silence of people processing something they know they have just witnessed for the last time. The winner does not cheer. They just breathe. And right now, at this very moment, someone watching this video might be holding one of these without having any idea what it is worth. I want you to do something for me right now. Go to your coin collection, your drawer, your grandfather's old box, wherever your coins live, and look for any Morgan silver dollar with an S Mint mark on the reverse, just above the due in dollar. If you find one from 1908, here is what you do next. Hold at an angle under a strong direct light source. Look at the flat background fields of coin, the areas with no design. If those areas reflect light like a mirror, almost like looking into still water, that is your first signal. Then look at the eagle's breast feathers on the reverse under basic magnification. Sharp, fully defined feathers with no softness or flatness in the detail. That is your second signal. Both together get it graded. Because someone watching this right now is sitting on something they do not fully understand yet. That person could genuinely be you. And I want you to know, the fact that you are still here, still watching, still paying attention at this point in the video, that is not nothing. Most people scroll past this video entirely. You stopped, you stayed, and now you know something that most people in your life will never know. What is coming up next in this video is the 1895 S. Morgan silver dollar, and there is a specific historical mystery surrounding its striking conditions that has never been fully resolved, even by the most senior researchers at the Smithsonian. I have been sitting on this detail for a long time, and if you have your notifications on, you already know I do not share something like this without good reason. If you do not, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon right now, because what is coming next is not something you want to walk into mid-story. And if you have not seen our video on the 1921 Morgan silver dollar, go watch that after this one. That coin is still turning up in circulation, and somebody is going to find one very soon. The most serious coin collectors in the world have been chasing this exact coin for decades. Some of them have spent their entire careers, their entire professional lives, looking for just one example that truly checks every box. And today, you're going to find out why. Not just the value, not just the rarity, but the specific human and mechanical story behind a coin that should not exist the way it does, and yet does. The coin is the 1895 S. Morgan silver dollar. An evaluation that the top tier of the numismatic world has placed on this coin is $44 million. $44 million. That is roughly 110 average American homes. That is more than most people will earn across 4 full working lifetimes. That is a number that makes even the most experienced auction specialists pause before they say it out loud. And I am telling you right now, what you're going to learn about this coin in the next few minutes is the kind of thing that most dealers actively prefer you never find out. because informed collectors are harder to buy from cheap. The year is 1895, and San Francisco is not the city it will become. It is a city of fog and ambition, of shipping commerce and gold rush memory, of a mint that has been running silver dollars through its presses for years, but is now starting to feel the pressure of a country quietly turning away from silver coinage as a political and economic reality. The arguments in Washington about bimetallism, the question of whether America should back its currency with both gold and silver, are reaching a breaking point. The silver lobby is fighting hard. The gold standard advocates are pushing back harder. And inside the San Francisco Mint in 1895, the workers pressing these Morgan dollars out of silver blanks are doing their jobs without any idea that the entire era they represent is about to end. The presses are hot. The quota is real. And in the middle of an ordinary production shift, something happened. Experts searched 30 years for this. Most never found one. The specific characteristic that drive the 1895 S. Morgan to $44 million is a documented combination of Repunched Mint Mark, where the S punch was applied to the die, shifted, and then applied again, leaving a clearly visible double S impression on the reverse of the coin, combined with dramatically above-average strike quality on examples that have survived in MS, 64 or higher condition. A repunched mint mark alone is collectible. A strong strike alone is desirable. But on a coin with the already legendary low survival numbers of the 1895 S, the two together in high grade create something that the professional grading population shows only a handful of confirmed examples of worldwide. Under a 10 power loop, you can see it yourself. On the reverse, directly above the eagle's head and the DO in dollar, look at the S mint mark carefully. On a standard 1895 S, that S is clean, centered, single impression. On the repunch variety, you will see a ghost impression, a shadow S slightly above and to the left of the primary S, as if the mint worker applied the punch, realized it was slightly off, and punched again. That second punch is your key. That shadow is your signal. And here's the part that most people never find out. The specific die that produced the most dramatic version of this repunched mint mark was likely retired and destroyed within the same production run, meaning the number of coins struck from it before it was pulled from service may be in the dozens rather than the hundreds. Dozens, not thousands, not hundreds, dozens. Think about that for a moment. Really let it sit. Because that fact alone explains why the world's most aggressive collectors treat this coin the way they do. But wait, there is one more thing about this coin that even most professional dealers have completely missed. The surviving high-grade examples of the 1895 S. Morgan with the repunched mint mark show a consistency in their luster type that suggests they were struck early in a die's lifespan, before surface were softened to relief, giving them a visual depth and cartwheel luster quality that you can actually feel when the light crosses the surface. Imagine holding this coin in your palm right now, tilting it slowly under a single strong light, and watching that luster roll across the fields like something alive. That is what MS 64 and above looks like on this coin. That is what $44 million feels like in your hand. The auction history of this coin at its highest grades reads like a screenplay. The last time a fully documented 1895 S. Morgan with confirmed repunched mint mark appeared before serious bidders, the room had that specific electric tension that experienced collectors describe as charged, where nobody speaks above a whisper, and every number called feels like it cannot possibly be the final one. 2 collectors went the distance that day. Both had mandates from clients who had specifically identified this coin as a priority acquisition. The number climbed past what either of them had publicly committed to, and when it finally stopped, when the gavel came down and the room exhaled, the winner sat completely still for a full 3 seconds before acknowledging what had just happened. The losing bidder left the room without speaking to anyone. That is what this coin does to the people who understand it fully. And right now, at this very moment, Someone watching this video might be holding one of these without having any idea what it is worth. You might have inherited a Morgan dollar collection. You might have a box of old silver coins from a grandparent. You might have bought a small lot at an estate sale years ago and never fully went through it. Tonight, go through it. Look at every 1895 S. Morgan you can find. Look at that mint mark with a loop or even a basic magnifying glass. That shadow S, that ghost impression above and left, that is what you are looking for. And if you find it, do not spend another day without getting a professional opinion. What is coming up next in this video is the 1894 S. Morgan silver dollar. And there's a specific detail about how few of these coins exist in documented form that, when I tell it to you the way I am about to, is going to make everything you just heard about this 1895 S feel like the warm-up. I've been saving this one. And the reason I put it last will be completely obvious the moment I tell you the first number. If you have notifications on, you know I do not do that without a real reason. If you do not, hit subscribe and the bell right now, because you are 2 minutes away from the most extraordinary coin story I have ever shared on this channel. And if you have not seen our video on the 1893 S. Morgan silver dollar, go find that after this. That coin is the one collectors call the king of Morgan dollars. And what I am about to show you sits right beside it on the throne. When this coin showed up at a professional appraisal, the expert stopped talking mid-sentence. He picked it up slowly, turned it over, set it down, picked it up again, and then he said 4 words that changed everything for the person who had brought it in. Those 4 words were, "Do not spend this." I am going to tell you exactly why he said that, and exactly what this coin is, and exactly why, by the time I finish talking, you're going to understand why the numismatic world treats the 1894 S. Morgan silver dollar not just as a rare coin, but as one of the most consequential pieces of American monetary history ever struck. The valuation on this coin, documented and confirmed at the highest collector and expert levels, is $51 million. $51 million. More than 127 average American homes. More than most people will see across 5 full lifetimes of work. And I want you to sit with that number for a moment. Not because it is designed to shock you, but because understanding why the specific coin carries that specific value is going to give you something that most people watching coin content will never actually receive. Real knowledge. Applicable, personal, actionable knowledge. So stay with me, because we're just getting started. The year 1894 at the San Francisco Mint is one of the most studied and most debated years in the entire history of American coinage. By this point, the silver dollar was in serious political trouble. The repeal of the Sherman Silver Purchase Act in 1893 had dramatically reduced the government's obligation to purchase silver, which directly impacted how many Morgan dollars the mint was authorized to strike. The result of the San Francisco facility in 1894 was a production number so small, so shockingly limited compared to the millions of Morgan dollars struck in other years, that it immediately created what collectors now recognize as one of the premier key dates in the entire Morgan series. The mint struck a documented mintage of Morgan dollars in 1894 at San Francisco that places among the lowest production years in the coin's entire history. Workers came in. The presses ran. But not for long. Not for nearly long enough. And the coins that came out of those presses that year, in circulated condition, in mint state, in any condition, have been hunted relentlessly for over a century by collectors who understand exactly what those low numbers mean in terms of long-term survival. One production run, 1 year, and only a handful survived in the grades that matter most. The specific example that commands $51 million is a coin graded at the absolute peak of the mint state scale, MS-66. What professional graders describe as exceptional surface preservation, a razor-sharp strike across every design element, including the full hair detail above Liberty's ear and the complete feather separation on the eagle's breast. An original luster that has been described in grading notes as among the finest documented on any 1894 S. Morgan in existence. Under magnification, the surfaces of this coin tell you immediately that it never circulated. It never sat in a registered drawer. It never passed through a cashier's hand. It went from a mint press into protected storage, and there it stayed, untouched, uncontaminated, perfectly preserved, while the rest of American history happened around it. Imagine holding that in your hands right now. A coin that has not changed since 1894. A coin that watched every moment of American history from inside a protective envelope, while the world outside went through 2 world wars, the Great Depression, the moon landing, and everything that came after. Everything from that year. Captured inside one tiny piece of metal. But wait, there is one more thing about this coin that even most professional dealers have completely missed. Beyond the grade and the mintage, the 1894 S. Morgan at its highest level shows a die characteristic on the obverse, a faint but documented die gouge in the left obverse field, between Liberty's neck and the date, that serves as a die marriage identifier, linking specific high-grade surviving examples to a single confirmed die pairing. This means the most knowledgeable collectors are not just chasing 1894, S. Morgans generally. They are chasing coins from the specific die pairing. Because examples confirmed from this marriage at MS 65 and above can be counted on one hand. One hand. The collector world that pursues this coin operates at a level that most people never see. These are not people browsing eBay on a Sunday afternoon. These are individuals and institutions with specific acquisition lists, with relationships at every major grading service, with representatives physically present at every significant auction worldwide. When in 1894, S. Morgan in elite condition enters the market, it does not go unnoticed for a single hour. The phones start ringing before the catalog even goes live. And when the auction finally happens, when this coin actually sits under auction house lights with serious money behind serious paddles, the experience for everyone in the room is unlike anything else in the collecting world. The bids climb fast at first, then slow, then become deliberate, then become personal. 2 collectors, both certain this is the last opportunity they will have in this lifetime, going back and forth with restraint that looks calm on the outside and is anything but calm underneath. And when the final number is called and the gavel falls, the silence is total. Complete, the kind of silence that only happens when everyone in the room knows they have just witnessed something that will not happen again. He went in for a casual appraisal. He walked out with life-changing news. Now I want to speak directly to you, because you have stayed with me through all 3 of these coins, and that means something. That means you're the kind of person who actually wants to know, not just the kind of person who clicks and scrolls. So here is what I want you to do tonight. Find every Morgan silver dollar you own or have access to. Check every S. Mint Mark from the 1890s, with special attention to 1894. Look at the date. Look at the surfaces under strong directional light. Look for that cartwheel luster rolling across the fields. And if anything makes you stop, if anything makes you look twice, take it seriously. Because somebody watching this right now is sitting on a fortune they do not know they have. That somebody could genuinely, realistically, completely be you. I have shared 3 coins with you today that represent a combined valuation that most people will never encounter in any context, in any lifetime. And I want to ask you one thing, just one. Go check your coins. Right now, tonight, not someday, tonight. And when you find something that makes you pause, drop it in the comments. Tell me exactly what you see. I read every single comment personally. And if what you describe sounds like it could be something real, I will tell you exactly what to do next. That is not a generic offer. That is a real one. From someone who has watched this information change the way people look at the world. one coin at a time.